Hello and welcome to your mat. My name is Stacey. Today I will be guiding you through a gentle but energizing yoga practice. As an option for class today, you will want to have 2 yoga blocks, but if you don't have them, that's okay. You can just join along and if necessary, skip any postures that are not accessible to you. Go ahead and get what you need and I will meet you lying on your back in Shavasana. And take a long, slow breath in through your nose and a soft breath out through the nose. Big breath in, belly rise. A soft breath out as the belly falls. Breathing in, the belly's expanding. Breathing out, it's softening and contracting. Hold on to that same slow rhythm of breath, not just here on your mat, but throughout your entire practice as well. Begin to awaken your body by wiggling your fingers and toes. And taking some gentle rotations in your wrists and ankles. In both directions. Slide your feet together at the bottom of your mat. And as if you're making snow angels, start to reach the arms out wide at your side and up overhead. You can always bend the elbows if you need. That same sweeping motion on an exhale, bring the arms back to your sides. Inhale, reach the arms out and up overhead, resting them on the floor. Exhale to slide them back to your sides. Complete 3 more of those breaths at your own pace. Once you finish your 3 breaths, allow your arms to reach up overhead, resting them on the floor. And take a full body stretch, lengthening from fingers to toes. Exhale to soften. Keeping the arms up overhead, big breath in to lengthen. Exhale to soften your body into the floor. 1 more just like that. Your arms still up overhead. Start to walk your feet to the bottom right corner of your mat. Your hips are centered or slightly to the left as you walk your upper body to the right side as well. So the head, the arms, the feet are all over to the right side. The hips are centered or slightly to the left, creating a C shape with your body. Keep pressing down through your left hip into the floor, the left shoulder as well. Option to cross your left ankle over the right. Maybe even using your right foot to guide the left foot away from you a little bit. Just inviting some slow, smooth breaths in and out of your body. Slowly release, come back through center. We'll shift over to the opposite side, so the feet start by walking over to the bottom left corner. The upper body joins it at the left. Grounding down through the right shoulder, right hip, an option to cross the right ankle over the left. Just a few more breaths on this side. And slowly find your way back through center. One more big stretch here in the center, lengthening from fingers to toes. And as you exhale, draw your knees in towards your belly, taking hold of the knees, the thighs, whatever is accessible and comfortable. Maybe a gentle rock from side to side. Pause in the center. Take your grip onto the right knee, hug the right knee in close, extend your left leg long to the bottom of your mat. Reach through your left heel as the left toes draw towards your face. Every breath in, lengthen, just like the full body stretch we took before. Every breath out, hug the right knee in a little bit closer to your belly. You can remain in stillness or take a few gentle circles with the right knee. Just remaining as stable and still through the left hip as you can, really isolating the movement to the right hip. Circle the opposite direction. And pause in the center. Take the right knee in the left hand, release the right arm at your side. Lengthen through an inhale. And on an exhale, we're going to find a twist. So cross your right leg over your body to the left. You can stack the right hip on top of the left hip, maybe lifting your hips and shifting them a little if that helps. An option to place a block underneath of the right knee for some support. Keep guiding your right shoulder down towards the floor, option to turn your gaze to the right. Gaze comes back through center. Your right knee will follow. Draw the left knee in to meet the right, both knees in towards your belly. Take hold of the left knee this time and extend the right leg long. Really think about staying active through your right leg. Squeeze that right thigh muscle in towards the bone. Send your left hip crease away from your shoulders and down into the mat as you hug your left knee in towards you. Option for those circles with the left leg. It may feel nice to use your right hand on the right hip, encouraging stillness in that area. Circle in the opposite direction. And pause in the center. Take a big breath here. The right hand stays on the left knee. The left hand releases at your side. And on your next breath out, find your twist. Left leg crosses over the body to the right. Again, option to place your knee on top of your block. And the gaze is at the ceiling or over to the left. Gaze comes back through center. The left knee will follow. Hug the left knee in towards you for one big breath. And then draw the right knee in to meet it. Maybe this time taking the legs a little bit wider apart, creating space for your belly to move with breath. Keep pressing all four corners of your pelvis into the floor. Maybe a gentle rock from side to side with the knees wide apart. And then draw the knees together. Let the soles of your feet find the floor. Reach your right arm up overhead and roll over onto your right side. You can use the right arm as a pillow, maybe drawing the knees in a little bit closer towards your belly. Just take a few breaths into your back body. Allowing your ribs to expand. And when you feel ready, find your way up to a tabletop position. From your tabletop, start by taking a few little sways from side to side, waking up your spine. Find stillness in your neutral position. We'll move through cat and cow. Take a big breath in to lift your tailbone, belly drops, pull your heart forward, lift it up. Exhale, scoop your tailbone beneath you, rounding through your back body, hollow out your chest as you look to your belly. Big breath in, lifted tailbone, pull your heart forward, lift it up for cow. Exhale, rounding through your spine, hollow out your chest as you look to the belly. Inhale, cow. Exhale for cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale for cat. Take 3 more following your own rhythm of breath. Land in neutral when you've finished your 3. Let your big toes come to touch, the knees go wide apart, and shift your hips back towards your heels for child's pose. You can slide your fingertips away from you, but continue to press down firmly through your hands so that the arms stay active. Let your forehead rest on the floor or onto a block. From this child's pose position, start to walk your hands over to the right. Keep your hips shifting down towards your heels, especially the left side is going to want to lift up here. Continue to press firmly through the left palm. Maybe even stacking the left hand on top of the right. And keep reaching the left shoulder down towards the mat. Walk your hands back through center. Pause for a breath. And then over to the opposite side. Hands walk over to the left. Keep that right hip reaching down towards your heel. You lengthen up your right side. Option to stack your right palm on top of the left if you did it on the opposite side. Come back through center, pausing in your child's breath for one full breath. And rising up to tabletop. From your tabletop, walk your knees back a couple of inches. Shoulders are over the wrists. We're going to go through a few little mini flows here. Option to stay in child's pose if it's a little too much energy this morning. And take a big breath in to lengthen through your spine. The belly draws in. As you exhale, start to bend at the elbows. Lower the chest down towards the mat between your hands. The palms are on the floor beneath your shoulders. Elbows draw in and back towards your heels. Press firmly through the shoelace side of your feet. We're going to inhale to lengthen and lift for a baby cobra. Lifting collarbones 1 or 2 ribs up off of the floor. And exhale to lower down softly. A few more of those little cobras. So inhale, lengthen and lift. Collarbones 1 or 2 more ribs lifts up. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale to lower. This time we're going to lengthen and lift and hold that cobra pose. Keep pressing firmly through the shoelace side of your feet. All 10 toenails are pressing into the floor. The legs are so active that the thigh muscles engage. The knees start to lift up off of the mat. Gaze is down at the floor a couple inches beyond your fingertips, and there should be little to no weight in your hands. Let the strength come from your low back. And we're holding the pose, but not your breath. One more big breath in. Exhale, slowly lower down. Press through your palms. Come up through tabletop and find a child's pose. Pausing in your child's pose for just a few breaths. With your next breath in, lift yourself up, come through tabletop. Find a modified plank, so you may have to walk the knees back a couple of inches. With a strong belly, engaged core, on the exhale, start to bend the elbow, resisting gravity the whole way down. Press down through your feet. Inhale, lengthen and lift, baby cobra. Exhale to lower. Press through tabletop. Child's pose. Landing in stillness. Inhale, come up and forward, modified plank. Exhale to lower with control. Inhale for baby cobra. Exhale, find your way through tabletop to child's pose. Find some stillness, settling in, and landing on your mat. Next breath in, find your way up through tabletop. From that modified plank, lower slowly onto your belly. Taking that cobra one last time. And this time as you exhale, press through tabletop. Pausing there, we're going to tuck your toes behind. Start to lift the knees, lift the hips for a downward facing dog. Start with a gentle bend in your knees. Really focus on lifting your sits bones up to the sky. Once you find that length through your spine, maybe walking out your dog by bending one knee and reaching the opposite heel to the floor. Then alternating sides, bending the opposite knee as the opposite heel reaches to the floor. Giving each leg an opportunity to find that length, that stretch as the heel presses down towards the mat. It does not have to touch. Moving as slowly and mindfully as you can, keeping even weight in both of your hands. Find stillness in your dog, lifting your sits bones high, lengthening through your spine. Take one big breath here. Bend through your knees, come up onto your toes, and walk to the front of your mat. Let your head fall heavy as you ragdoll over your legs, with as much or as little bend in the knees as you like. Little to no weight in the hands, you can even take hold of opposite elbows. Release your fingertips down to the ground. On an inhale, come up halfway, find a flat back. Exhale, let it go, fold forward. Gentle bend in the knees, big breath in, reach up all the way. And exhale, hands to heart. Full breath here. Let it go. With an inhale, reach up high. Exhale, we're going to find a side bend over to the left. Keep grounding down through all four corners of your feet, especially the outer right foot. If this is a little too much with the hands touching, you can always release the left hand down to your side. Be pressing down through the outer edge of the right foot as you draw the low ribs on the right up towards the sky. Rise up on the inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Full breath here. Let it go. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, we're going to side bend over in the opposite direction, so keep pressing down through the pinky toe edge of your left foot. And you can use the right hand to guide the left arm up and over a little bit further, or you can release the right arm at your side. Notice if the left shoulder is creeping forward, can you keep it in line with the rest of your body? Big breath in, rise up all the way. Exhale, hands to heart. Pressing those palms firmly together as the elbows reach to the side walls. Take a full breath here. And let it go. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come up halfway, find a flat back. And exhale to fold. We're going to step back to the back of the mat, find your downward facing dog. Just pause for a few breaths, pressing firmly through all 10 fingers, especially the thumb and the index. Keep your low ribs drawn in. And start to slowly bend your knees, bringing them onto your mat. Tabletop pose. You can take a little sway from side to side, letting go of any tension that may have developed. And from your tabletop, extend your right leg long behind you. Lower the toes onto the mat. You want to tuck your toes. And with the toes tucked on your mat, start to send the right heel back towards the floor as if you're trying to step the sole of your foot onto the ground. Keep your hips as even with each other as you can, so you want to keep that right hip from lifting up. Keep pressing through the right heel, creating length at the back of the right calf. Shift some weight forward. Shoulders are over the wrists once again. We're going to slide the right leg over to the right side of the room. So you're creating a triangle shape with the legs. The inner arch of the right foot is lining up roughly with the left knee. Press firmly through the sole of the right foot. Option to have the left toes tucked or untucked. And you can have your hands on the floor or on blocks, whichever provides enough space for your body to be comfortable here. Watch for any discomfort in the low back or the knee joints. And we're going to move through a couple cat and cows from here. So keep pressing firmly through that right foot. As you breathe in, lift your tailbone, belly drops, pull the heart forward, gaze comes up. On the exhale, scoop your tailbone rounded back. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. One more time, big breath in. Exhale for cat. Find your neutral. And we're going to walk the hands in towards your body. Find your balance, and when able, bring your hands up onto your hip, rising up all the way. Just checking in, we want the left hip to be over the left knee, lining up that inner arch with the left knee as well. Sitting tall. Take a big breath in. We're going to reach the hands up high. Exhale, hands to heart. Keep pressing through that right foot. Big breath in, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. This time we're going to take a big breath in, reach up overhead. Keep pressing through the right foot into the ground. We're going to reach over to the left, sending the left fingertips down towards the floor, onto your block, or you can even place your hand on your hip if the ground is not accessible. Right fingertips are going to reach up overhead, creating a long line from the right foot to the right fingertips. And just pause here in breath. Stay open through your chest, gazing to the room in front of you, or you can look up to the sky. And keep your left hand on the floor. We're going to start to turn our gaze down towards the floor in front of us, reaching the right fingertips forward and down towards the floor. And then start to walk both hands towards the center. So we're almost back to where we began in that gate pose with the hands out in front. Start to come onto the heel of the right foot, turn the right toes to the sky. Left hand is going to stay where it is, but we're going to start to walk the right hand over towards the right foot, just stopping when you feel tension. You can keep the left arm straight or you can bend it if you like. Maybe you're able to reach that right foot, draw the toes towards the sky as you sit your hips back a little bit towards the ground. Just watching for any discomfort in the knee joint. If you're feeling that, maybe bring a gentle bend into the knee or ease out of the pose. Walk the right hand back to meet the left as you lower your right foot back onto the floor. Both hands out in front of you, bring a little bit of weight into the right palm. Big breath in, reach the left fingertips this time up towards the sky. Big breath in to lengthen, reach those fingers high. On the exhale, we're going to start to thread your left arm through, sending it between the right arm and your body. Left palm faces the sky as you reach towards the right finger, or right toes rather, lowering your shoulder onto the mat for thread the needle arms. Always the option here to come into a tabletop if that's not working for you. The left shoulder on the floor, left palm faces the sky, pressing down through the entire length of your arm. Your right arm can stay bent or you can walk it long overhead, maybe gazing up beneath the right armpit. Keep breathing. Start to bend the right elbow, bring the right palm back onto the mat in front of your face. Press down through the right hand. Lift your left fingertips up towards the sky. And lower the left hand back down. Left toes are tucked or untucked. Come onto the heel of the right foot so that the right foot can pivot how it chooses. Right toes are pointing towards the sky as you start to sit your hips back now towards the left heel, both hands out in front. You do not have to make contact between the hips and the heels, just shifting back until you feel a bit of a stretch under the right thigh. Again, any discomfort in the knee joint, you can always bring a gentle bend into that knee. And rise back up. Sole of your foot finds the floor. Option here to have your hands on the floor or on the blocks. We're going to be light on the right foot, light on the left foot, and we're going to walk our hands with or without the blocks towards the right side of the mat. Depending on how grippy your mat is, you may have to tuck your toes and pivot the knee if it's not able to smoothly rotate on that mat. We're just tiptoeing our fingers over to the right until you're able to frame that right leg. The hands up on the blocks will just add a little bit of length to your arms so that you're able to maintain a straight spine as you fold forward over your right leg. The right toes are drawn towards your face. And think about sending the right hip back behind you as if you're sliding your right heel on the floor without actually moving the heel. Again, fingers on the floor or on blocks. We're going to start to bring a gentle bend into the right knee and slide that right heel towards you. Depending on if you're on a grippy surface, you may have to just Lift yourself up and adjust. Find your way in whatever transition works for you, so that you're able to bend that right knee. The front leg is bent at about a 90-degree angle. The left toes are tucked behind you. Make sure you're in about a hip distance of the leg stance. Start to tuck those left toes as you lift the left knee, lift the hips. Work towards straightening both legs. So again, if your hands are up on blocks, you're going to find a little more length in your body here. I have nice long arms, so it works in my favor, but if you don't, you're welcome to keep those hands on blocks. Shorten your stance however much you need. We're just looking for a stretch up the back of the right leg, working towards straightening both legs, but it's okay if you have a bend. That right sits bone's reaching up towards the sky. Gentle bend in both knees. We're going to step forward with the left, landing in our forward fold. With a big breath in, we're going to come up halfway, find a flat back. So it's as if your back is a table here. We're not in a cat back, we're not in a cow back, just find that neutral spine. And just the same as we found that full body stretch in the beginning, think about lengthening from your tailbone to the top of the head with each breath in. And then on your breath out, let that go, fold forward, relaxing over your legs with as much or as little bend in the knees as you like. Inhale, come up halfway, flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, come up halfway, flat back. Exhale to fold. Gentle bend in the knees, rise up all the way, big breath in. And exhale, hands to heart. Find your way to the top of your mat. And take a big breath in, reach up. On the exhale, fold forward. Step back with the right foot to the back of your mat. Find a lunge with the left knee bent, blocks under hands or your hands on the floor. We're not here long. The left knee is pointing the same direction as the left toes. Notice if you're sinking your right hip down towards the floor. Bring that right hip up in line with the left and reach your right heel to the back of the room to fire up that right leg. With that strong lunge position, active thighs, rise up all the way. You can always pause with your hands on your knee or your hips. And when you feel ready and balanced, reach your hands to the sky. Think about drawing your right kneecap up towards the right hip. Keep your right heel reaching to the room behind you. Shoulders drawn away from your ears. Take a big breath in. Exhale, open up for warrior two. The right foot is roughly parallel with the back of the mat, but it doesn't have to be. Left knees keep pointing in the same direction as the left toes. Arms are parallel to the floor as you gaze over the left fingertips. Just take note of your shoulders. If they're reaching towards the left knee, can you bring them back over your hips? Right fingertips come down to the right leg or your low back. Left fingertips reach up and overhead. Keep that left knee lunging forward. Arms return to warrior two. And then windmill your hands to frame your left foot, pivoting on the right toes. Step your left foot back to meet the right with as many steps as you need. And just take a downward facing dog. Lifting your hips high, lengthening your spine. Lower the knees. Send your hips back towards the heels, child's pose. Can you find that slow rhythm of breath that you had on your back in Shavasana? Let your arms be as active or as passive as you like. You can also bend at the elbows and let the forearms rest on the mat. Maybe a gentle rock of the forehead from side to side. Land in center. Find your way up to tabletop. The left leg extends long behind you. Tuck your left toes. And start to press down through your left heel as if you're stepping down onto the floor. See if you can bring a little more weight into the big toe mound of the left foot. Finding that stretch, that length of the back of your left calf. Shift your weight forward, shoulders are over your wrists. We're going to come into gate pose, so that's that triangle shape with your legs. Slide your left leg all the way over to the left. Bringing the right knee in line with the inner arch of your left foot, and pressing firmly through the pinky toe edge of the left. And watch for any discomfort in the low back or the knees as we move through 3 cat and cows from this position. Keep pressing firmly through the left foot. With your next breath in, lift your tailbone, belly drops, pull the heart forward, lift it up. Exhale for cat, rounding through the spine, hollow out the chest as you look to the belly. Big breath in, cow back. Exhale for cat. Inhale. Exhale. Find your neutral. And from here, we'll walk the hands in towards the knee. Rise up, hands to hips, coming up when you feel stable. And just to check in your alignment, the right hip is over the right knee. The inner arch lines up with your knee. Sitting tall, shoulders over the hips. Big breath in, reach up overhead. Without sliding your left foot, on the exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time, just like that. This time we're going to take a big breath in, reach up overhead. And the right hand's going to find its way down onto your hip, onto the floor, or onto your block. Left fingertips are going to reach over your head, creating a long line up your entire left side. Keep breathing as you hold this pose. Inviting length up your left side between all of the ribs, the waist. And start to turn your gaze down towards the floor, reaching the left fingertips forward as they slowly find their place on the ground. Walking both hands out in front of you. Returning to that gate pose in a tabletop position. The right hand stays centered as you start to come up onto the heel of the left foot, showing the sole of your left foot to the room beside you. Left hand starts to reach towards the left foot as you sink your hips down low. Maybe you pause halfway, maybe you're able to reach that left foot. You can have the right arm straight or bent, whichever feels best. Keep breathing. Adjusting however you need, using the block if that feels better. And walk the left hand back through center as you rise back up. Lower the left sole of the foot to the floor. Bring the weight into your left palm. Big breath in, reach the right fingertips high. One big breath in, lengthening fingertips are reaching even higher yet. On the exhale, we're going to thread the arm through, so right arm's coming between the left and your body. Right palm faces the ceiling as it slides over towards your left foot, lowering the right shoulder onto the mat, the top right corner of your head as well. Left fingertips can stay where they are. They can start to walk forward. Maybe you gaze up beneath the left armpit. Pressing firmly through the entire length of your right arm. Remember that you always have the option to return to a tabletop position if this gate stance becomes too much at any time. And start to bend through the left elbow, bringing the palm back in front of your face. Press down through your left hand. Reach those right fingertips up towards the sky as you open your heart to the right. Lower the right hand onto the mat. Come up onto the heel of the left foot. Right toes are tucked or untucked as you start to send your hips back towards that right heel. Arms are out straight in front of you. Sinking your hips towards the heel, but it does not have to touch. Rise back up. We're going to be light on the left foot, light on the right foot. So we don't want to grip them into the ground. Start to slowly pivot your hands with or without blocks. You can always tuck your toes, lift your knee and pivot it, especially if you're on a really grippy mat. And walking the hands until you're able to frame the left leg. You can always adjust your stance by sliding that left heel closer or further from you. The left toes are being drawn towards your face. And think about sending your left hip crease back behind you, as if you're sliding your left heel across the floor without actually moving it. Bring a gentle bend into your left knee, maybe shifting your weight forward a little bit. So you're able to slide the left foot towards you, heel toe, heel toe. Whatever transition works for you to bring about a 90-degree bend in both of your legs. We want that hip distance. You don't have to be on a tightrope here, so a little bit of a wider stance. Both knees are bent to begin. Hands on the floor or on blocks. Tuck your back toe, lift the back knee, and start to work towards straightening both legs as the hips reach back behind you. The soles of both feet are on the floor, toes are pointing forward. Choosing the height of blocks or no blocks that works best for you. Take note if the right hip is a little bit higher than the left. Can you draw it back down? And then bring a gentle bend into the front leg. Bring forward with the right. Bringing the feet in line as you fold forward over your legs. Let your head fall heavy. Fingertips can come onto the shins with a big breath in. Find a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale to fold. One more time, big breath in, flat back. Exhale, let it go. Bring a generous bend into the knees. With the next breath in, we're going to reach up all the way. Exhale, hands to heart. Press those palms together, reach the elbows to the sides. And come to face the front of the mat if you're not already there. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. With the fingertips on the floor, step the left foot back to the back of the mat. Bend in the right knee for a lunge, with your hands on the floor or on blocks. You want that active back leg, don't sink that left hip low. Squeezing your inner thighs together, the inner hips together, as the outer hips reach out and back behind you. Really active legs here. Making sure you adjust your stance for balance, so maybe a little bit of a wider stance to keep you from wobbling. When you feel ready, rising up all the way. So you do have the option of pausing with your hands on your knees, catch your balance, and then reach up high. Squeeze the left thigh muscle into the bone. The shoulders are drawn down away from your ears to keep a long neck. Active arms here. Big breath in. Exhale, open up. Warrior two. Keep a deep bend in the right knee. It's pointing the same direction as your toes. Pressing firmly through the pinky toe edge of the left foot as you reach the right knee away from it. Gazes over the right fingers. Lower your left hand to the left thigh or to your low back. Reach the right fingertips up and overhead as you dance it back. But keep that right knee reaching forward. A lot of times as we reach back, we bring the whole body with us. You want to stay deep into that lunge. Arms come back, warrior two. Landing for a few breaths. And then windmilling the arms, pivoting on your back toes. Frame that front foot. Step it back. Pick your downward facing dog. Walking out the dog, really exaggerated bends through your knees. Maybe even swaying your hips from side to side as you bend those knees. Land in your downward facing dog. Find a tabletop pose. A couple little sways from side to side. From your tabletop, walk your knees back a couple of inches, shoulders over wrists, modified plank. Draw your low belly in, the low ribs in as well. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, slowly lower with control onto your belly. Palms are on the floor beneath the shoulders, elbows draw in and back towards your heels. Pressing firmly through your feet, inhale, lengthen and lift, take that cobra pose. Exhale to lower. Bring the left arm out in front of you. Lower your forehead onto it like a pillow. With your forehead resting on the left arm, start to draw the right heel in towards your glutes. Reach back with the right. Maybe you're able to take hold of that right foot. It's okay if you can't reach it. Whether you're using the hand to draw it in or just the strength of your leg, keep reaching the right heel in towards your bum as you press the four corners of your pelvis into the mat. Keep the entire length of the right thigh grounded. And slowly allow the right foot to find its place on the floor. Bring the right arm out in front of you for a pillow. Left arm at your side. Left heel this time comes in towards the bum, either stopping there, using the strength of your leg to draw the heel closer, or if it's accessible, you can reach back with the left hand, take hold of the pant leg or your foot, hug it in a little closer to you. Stay long through your body. Keep that left knee reaching away from the top of the head and down into the mat. And if you were wearing jeans with a zipper, think about pressing the entire zipper of your pants, including the button, into the floor. Release your left foot. Bring both palms to the floor beneath your shoulders. Take a big breath in, lengthen and lift. Take that baby cobra pose. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale, last one. Lengthen and lift, the most height you've had all day. Exhale to lower. Press through the palms, come through tabletop. Bend your hips back towards your heels for a child's pose. Let this child's pose be passive. Maybe you bring your hips to rest on a block. Maybe the forehead rests on a block as well. You can also use pillows, blankets, whatever you have available, to let the body feel supported and safe. Bring a gentle bend into your elbows so that the arms are able to rest and to soften into your mat. And with the front body supported, start to take some deep breaths into your back body. Breathing in and out through your nose. Each breath in, your body's invitation to take up space on your mat. To take up space in the room that you've chosen for your practice. Each breath out welcomes softness, stillness, and a sense of ease into your body. Just taking note of any changes that may have occurred in your body throughout your practice today. Welcoming them without attachment or judgment. You are welcome to hold this child's pose for as long as you choose. You are also welcome to transition into Shavasana if that is your preference. Whichever final resting pose is best for you, I encourage you to take a few extra moments in stillness there, allowing your body to really absorb the benefits of its practice and prepare itself for the day to follow. When you do feel ready to get up and go, do so slowly and mindfully, taking with you a little bit of the energy that you've cultivated here on your mat today, with you into the rest of your day and week to follow. With such gratitude as always for you joining me here today. Namaste.